there are companies out there that actually care about us as the embroiderer and how sometimes it's very hard for us to get into tight spots. One of those companies is called Embroider Buddy, and they make these animals so that it's very easy for us to hoop it and monogram on it. So I'm going to talk to you about the company, I'm going to talk to you about hooping it, and I'm going to talk to you about the very specific settings that I used in Design Shop to make it look really, really good. So first thing I want to talk to you about is this company. The name of this company is called Embroider Buddy. They've been around as long as I can remember, and they make it so easy. So you just unzip the back like this, and then you just take the stuffing out. Now this has a pile on it, okay? So it's not a flat surface. So you're gonna have to adjust some things so that you can get good coverage on a surface like this. So I'm gonna use water soluble on top. I'm also going to adjust my underlay settings. So my underlay settings, that refers to the stitches that lay underneath the finishing stitches. Design Shop is amazing. It normally just does it right for you all the time. However, if you're sewing on something with a pile like this, Design Shop doesn't know that. So you're going to have to go in and maybe give it a little bit extra of the underlay stitches so that you can get good coverage on something like this. Now, if you're not familiar with sewing on this type of product, like maybe you've never sewn on this type of product before, this is 3 ounces of cutaway. I'm just slipping it in. Then what I recommend you do is I recommend that you sew it out on a similar type of fabric so that you can learn from your sew out, your sample sew outs. So I did that to kind of show you how you can do this. Basically what I did was I found a piece of terry cloth, very similar to what I'm about to sew on. I put water soluble on top, and then I put a piece of tearaway on the back. I just sewed it out. I didn't adjust a single setting. I just sewed it out and I sent it to the machine. And actually it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. However, I know that I can make it look just a little bit better because it is struggling to cover those white loops. And so there's a couple little spots on there that I actually want to cover up a little bit better. So I'm going to show you how to go into your settings and change that a little bit. So like I said, just little things like this, sew out what you're about to sew, make a little sample. It really just helps you so much. This is the 6.5 Mighty Hoop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tab part by the legs. I'm just going to slip this in here. Make sure that your backing always 100% covers the hoop. And I know that Mighty Hoop sells a product that allows you to hold the backing onto the hoop. So, you know, that's certainly something you could think about, unless maybe you have like their freestanding base. I'm going to put this water soluble on top. And then I am going to hoop this upside down because I don't want to stick the head into the machine. So your backing always has to be 100% perfect on the back, but your water soluble does not have to be perfect. But I do recommend that you get it into the hoop. Oh, it kind of flipped over on me. So let me fix that real fast. Make sure that your backing is 100% around. My backing is 100% around. I can play a drum on a back. That's very important for everything that you do. All right, and so you're going to put this on the machine upside down. So we're just going to slip it like this and make sure that nothing is caught underneath. It goes right on the machine like that. This totally cracks me up, having this little guy hang here. All right, and so I did change my settings, and I will show you how I did that. I'm going to go ahead and trace it out with the rectangle and the star. Now for the centering, what I did was I just used my hoop to, and I just made it center. What I did was I centered it with his nose because I want to make sure that it's going to be centered with his face. I'm not necessarily interested in measuring from here to here on the body of the bear. I want it to make sense and be right down the center of his face. So the center of my hoop just happens to be exactly center of his face. So I know that I'm okay with that placement. So after you trace it out and you have all your settings good to go, you ready to press go? Now that the front is done, you can actually upsell and put, you know, Love Grandma or Love Nana on the back, which you can see I just hooped with the 12 centimeter hoop or the 4.7 inch hoop. And I have a piece of water soluble on front, and I have my cutaway on the back, nice and taut. So we're gonna put Love Nana on the back. Trace it out using your rectangle and your star. And here we go. Okay, so it's off the machine. So I'm gonna rip off the majority of the water soluble, but keep it flat. And then what you're gonna do is you are going to spritz it with some water. Quickly lay this down, very quickly, press it down, and then rip it up, and it takes off all the extra solvay. Now I'm just going to go in and cut the backing off. Make sure that you can always see your item. So this particular item wholesales, oh, I'm sorry, I don't actually know the wholesale price. It retails for about $33 or $35. So you're gonna sell it for the $35, and then you would charge $15, or I would charge $15 for the name in the front, and then I would try to upsell the back. Now, if you wanna do the second location at half the price of the first, that's something that you can consider if you want to do for your company. So you could do $15 for the front, and then you could do $7.50 for the for the second location. That's totally up to you, because you could definitely do $15 for each location. So there you go. Oh wait, I still have a little water soluble on there. So I'm just going to spritz it. I'm going to lay my water soluble on there very quickly, like this, and then rip it up. Gets off all the extra, looks so adorable, and then it's got Love Nana on the back. So $35 for the animal just by himself. I would say $15 for the front, and then if you want to do half price, $7.50 for the back is kind of like a little upsell. It's an adorable gift. So if you want to order these, then you can go to their website and sign in to their account where you can order wholesale, and you can have fun with this. Okay, let's talk about the settings. So what I did was I put on the screen, this is the 6.5 Mighty Hoop. And what I did, you just right click on this hoop button right here, and I chose for the hoop name Mighty Hoop 6.5 because I wanted to fill this hoop. So I went ahead and put the hoop on in Design Shop. Now come over here, click on A, type in your name, say enter. Now you can say center. Now come over here and choose the font that you would like. For this particular font, I actually use this one right here. And then for my height, you can just bump it up until it fits within your hoop. Now, if you want to, there's a lot of spacing between some of the letters. So if you want a quick swoop that just kind of pulls them all in together, you can double click. You can click on spacing. You can click auto kern, lower this number, and say apply. And what that does is that kind of moves all the letters in for you. And now that allows me to make it maybe just a little bit bigger because now I have a little bit more room. So I can come here to letters, and for my height, I can go up just a little bit, say apply. So yeah, so I can make it just a little bit bigger. Now let's go to underlay. Now again, software is great in giving you underlay, but in something that has a pile like this, I'd like to do my own because the software does not know that I'm sewing on something with a pile. So I'm going to go with an edge walk with a 80% width and a 20 point stitch length. You can of course use different underlays. This is just kind of my go-to, what I do whenever I have something with a pile and it makes me happy. My second underlay is going to be a double zigzag. The width is 80% and the density is 10. Now I'm adding a lot more stitches to my item, but this fabric can handle it, so I'm not concerned. All right, so I said apply, and I think that's all the changes that I want to make for that particular name. No, actually, I do want to go here to the pull percentage, and I did bump it up just a little bit because when something has a pile, it sometimes wants to wrap around the stitching and it gets lost in the stitching. So I will sometimes make things just a little bit thicker when I'm sewing on something with a pile. So that's what I did to set up the name on the front of the animal. Now, if you are interested in seeing how I did the back, what I did was I came here and I typed in the word love, then comma, and then enter. Now, I wanted them two different sizes, so I did type them in separately. This is the font that I chose right here, and I think I made this 0.55. And then I came over here and then I typed in Nana. And then I came here to my script fonts right here, and I kind of lined this up like this. I think I did go in and give this a little pull percentage, definitely, because again, it gets lost in that piling right there. And I did the same exact settings for my underlay. Came to my underlay, turned off the auto, did an edge walk at a percentage of an 80. And then for my secondary underlay, I did a double zigzag with a percentage of 80% of the letter and 10%. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm just giving it some more stitches so that it will actually cover up the pile on the fabric that we're using. And that's how you set it up.